Morality nowadays isn't really morality. It's just people doing something because it's trend or to fit in. We can see that how people react to people that don't move according to their standards. A person, maybe, I'll give you an example. I'll show you the situation. If a man over there, because it's a good place to eat, okay? He eats over there, all the comment sections are filled with, oh, you're supporting Israel. He's doing that, he's doing that. And he will be hated, okay? And that's just following the flaw. You're not thinking for yourself. It's not even morality. It's just you're just doing what other people do. Is it even morality at that point? It's just following something that's been so much done over time that you just get accustomed to it, so you're doing it yourself. uh, I just remembered something from this. You gotta think for yourself to be moral, okay? Here's an experiment. There was an experiment that scientists did a few years back, okay? It was a dentist in a dentist's office. People were already sitting, okay, and whenever a beep came on, a person would stand up, and there was only one person at the time, okay, and the rest of the actual customers came in, and whenever the beep happened, the first person stood up and then sat down. The first person stood up, then sat down because the beep happened, right? And moving according to him, another person started, then a third, then a fourth, then a fifth. The first person went, then the fourth, then the fifth, and the first person went, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. All more customers came, and in the end, it just kept on happening with every beep because that's what they learned. They didn't think for themselves. They just followed what is happening before them. So in that sense, they were just following the herd. They didn't think for themselves. Is it now? In morality sense, in the sense of morality that I mean, I gave this example because I want to explain that morality isn't really morality when you think about it. What is the good? Morality is defined as what's good for the society. And if you determine that, oh, something is bad, you gotta have proper reasoning and understanding to why it's bad and why are you supporting this cause, right? Or will you just say that, oh, it's bad because it's bad for society? Is it? Are you just following it because it's traditions? Morality is something that is quite fragile and quite changing over time. We can see that from our we can see that in our lives, okay? People constantly change their constantly changing their moral standards just to fit in. If you don't agree with something, you have to because oh, or else you'll be ostracized on how you're thinking and how you're doing. You just have to fit in because oh, if you don't agree with something, you'll be hurt, you'll be hated, you'll be made fun of. And that in itself is quite dumb, okay? How can you just think that, oh, this is bad? Same with boycotting, okay? We understand that, oh, they're doing something that supports genocide, so we're gonna hate on them. Understandable. But if a person does not want to or does not care, are you just gonna consider them bad or evil? If you see a picture of a cute kitten and you said, oh, that's so adorable, I love kittens, they're so cute, right? And a person under their comments says, oh, I hate kittens, you, to hell with them, why they're kittens? You will automatically think, oh, that is a bad man. Hmm. Now you don't know, maybe he had some bad experiences with kittens, right? He could have had a kitten eat his baby. Hmm. That could be a reason. You don't know that. You're just gonna automatically assume that that person is bad. Morality in itself is the thing you do. Morality in itself is finding out what's good and what's bad, right? We all have a sense of moral compass. We use religion or our society to find what's good and bad. In society, there's a lot of nowadays. If you use a societal version of morality, it's quite weak. We all assume that something is bad because society says it's bad. If we all can assume that oh, this is good because society assumes it's good, and in itself is quite problematic on how we can. I'm from South Asia, okay. You can understand how the society so it's quite bad, okay. So we cannot really fall on the society side that oh, society is going to tell what's good and bad. Then most people fall upon religion on how religion tells what's good and bad. That's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad one. But even if we exclude the religion part, most people have their own moral sense of what's good and what's bad. We all can probably assume that oh, we can all assume that oh, you want to help children, starving children. You There's a famous guy that once said something that gave an example of what you are doing nowadays. Okay, I forgot the name of the guy, but it was very popular. Okay, he said that you see a drowning child and you're wearing very expensive shoes. Will you take those shoes and still jump in the water to save him, or will you not? Most people answered yes, we will jump in the water and save the poor child who is drowning. Correct? The shoes are doing whatever that is, but we're gonna save the child. Okay? But now he says, with that $200, you could have just donated that to a starving children family in Africa and helped them, right? In hindsight, it's it's an either way losing situation. Whatever you did, you're gonna lose. Whether you paid him, whether you gave money or you're not. So what truly is moral in the end? Is buying good days moral? You're not supporting anyone. You should all you should all work towards the benefiting of society and more people, right? So is our parties okay? Are going out okay? Is buying luxuries okay? Um, I bought this. I bought this boat. Okay, wooden boat that I made this because I wanted to. According to that moral sense, I should have given this money to a poor child so that he could eat it. But this is my form of entertainment. So am I a moral person now? I could have given to it. I could have given the money I've spent on this to some starving child, but no, I bought this and I made it. Am I a bad person now? Did my morals fail me? Now here's a question for yourself. What morality is it that you follow? We all wonder that in moral basis, we all assume that, oh, we are quite nice and quite smart. We all have a morality security complex, okay? We all believe that, yes, I am me, me. I'm such a moral person. How can I be bad? But do you really need this? Do you really need this? No, you don't. But you still bought it because, oh, you wanted to. In high, you could have given to starving children, but you did not because you didn't want to. So you are a bad person, hence, according to moral standards. Morality is a weird thing in itself. We cannot automatically assume the person is bad or good because he does something. Most people assume that they are very moral because they haven't done anything bad. But honestly, ask yourselves: haven't you done anything you haven't done anything bad because you never wanted to, or because you have never given the opportunity to? So most people say that, oh, I have never drank in my life. I don't like drinking. But have you given? But have you ever had a glass in your hand and say like, no, I don't want to drink? Have you ever had the opportunity? Can you think of yourself morally superior because you don't drink? Hmm? That doesn't make sense, does it now? How can you just assume that just because you didn't have the opportunity to do something, you didn't do it, then you're morally superior? That's dumb. And now here's the problem with most people. They say like, oh, whenever I have the money, I give it to the poor. I never keep it to myself. All right, let's assume that you do. But what about these clothes? Huh? Worn your old clothes, but no, you bought this new clothes, this new shirt because you wanted to. You could have given to its starving children, but no, you wanted this. Am I a morally bad person now? Morality nowadays has gotten so low that people can't really figure out if they're doing something bad or good. They can't even think for themselves. That's the main problem. If you're just gonna assume that automatically that, oh, in moral sense that you should do for the greater good, you can't really be happy yourself, can you now? Morality in itself is a trend nowadays. It's not even something that a person can follow, or it's just that whatever a person, the greater society finds entertaining or nice. If I assume that, I really don't want to support this, blah, 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 because they don't do that, am I a bad person then? This video in itself is quite low quality. I'll agree with that. Okay, I really didn't give any new inputs on what morality is. In itself, I'm finding out myself what morality is. Okay, in itself, I was thinking about this, and I unfortunately put up a poll, and this was the only option that got a mark. So I made a video on this. But in itself, I'm not really well versed in morality in itself. Are all luxuries or all entertainments bad? Yes, they're all bad then. If you're taking a humanitarian, forgot the word, I'm going to look up the word. On the word. It's called. It's called
Utilitarianism.
utilitarianism. Utilitarianism. I got the word. Okay, I remembered it. Utilitarianism. Um, it's a word that means it's an ethical framework where moral worth of an action determines purely by the outcome, justifying almost any sacrifice if its result is in the greater overall happiness or benefit of the greater number of people. I got the word. Yes, I got the word. Here's the word that I've been thinking for the last 4 hours about. Yes, I've been sitting here for the 4 hour for the last 4 hours thinking about this word. What is was it? And I finally got it. This is the word, okay? And here's the problem with this, okay? If you use this word and any moral sacrifice, if and any sacrifice is justified, what in itself is morality then? Nowadays, morality isn't justification for your actions, for the greater sacrifice, for better moral good. It's just to fit in. It's just fit in. If you're doing something, if you're just saying that, oh, you don't agree with something because just to fit in, or do you even agree with something? Are you just playing a role? Do you just have a mask on? That's what the mask is. Yes, it's a dream reference. But anyways, still, what is moral sacrifice then? What are you even doing? If you if you just hate someone just for the sake of fitting in, it's not Italian. Ah, frick. How do you say it again?
Utilitarianism.
This word. If isn't it this then? It's the opposite of this. I agree with this word to a very greater extent. Any amount of sacrifice is agreeable, is justified for the greater good, right? So if we just use this as a definition, isn't morality nowadays just following the people like a flock and hearing and not and having a dogmatism behavior with people that do not agree with you? Isn't that a bad thing? That's just having your own echo chamber of telling you what to do and what not you to do. That's just your own bubble. You have to come out of it to make your own moral sense, to have your own thinking, to be your own person. How can you just sit there and just say like, oh, I don't agree with something, but the general public does not agree with it? You have to do your own research. Morality isn't trend. Morality isn't fitting in. You have to make your own research, your own rights and wrongs. How can you say something is wrong, something is good, if you don't understand, if you don't know? Well, this is it for the video. Adios.